doing? Woo! Somebody say Fred Taylor! So I just want to ask, how many of you out in the crowd personally know Mr. Fred Taylor? Put those hands up. Oh my gosh, amazing. And how many of you know him by way of Paul's Mall Jazz Workshop, going to Scullers Jazz Club, the Wang Theater? Okay, so basically we've covered everybody in the room, and you all know what a national treasure he is and what an incredible human being and promoter and music industry. Oh, just he's legend, and he is a dear friend of mine. I'm just going to tell you a very short little thing before we get this party started. I was 13 years old when I first sat in with the wonderful Ann Hampton Calloway, brilliant singer-songwriter at Scullers Jazz Club, and I played the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow with her. And after, Fred came up to me, and I was so nervous. You know, this is Fred Taylor, and I've been going to Scullers Jazz Club since I was like 6 years old. There's pictures to prove it. I'm asleep in my dad's arms. And he said, wow, that was great, you know. We should talk about getting you a date here. I'm 13. I'm like nearly faint. That's just like, and indeed he did. He booked me at 13 years old for my very first jazz, appearance with my band, and I can't tell you what an incredible opportunity that was. And from that first performance, he became one of my biggest champions. And for every artist that you see on stage, there is a team behind that artist, and there are music industry, entertainment industry people who are making this stuff happen. You would not see the show and you would not see the artists on stage if it weren't for the people who make it happen. And whether it was Fred Taylor picking up the phone and calling Chris Bodie and saying, hey, you gotta hear this young girl, and him saying, yeah, bring her on stage, or whether it was, let's go backstage and meet Dave Brubeck, or calling to get my band booked for the Newport Jazz Festival or Montreal Montreux. I mean, the stories go on. And I know there are so many artists who have the Rolodex of stories about Fred Taylor, and their hearts jump and beat, and he's such an incredible guy. So he is who we are here to celebrate. We have an evening of folk, jazz, and blues, and some fabulous artists for you. But 2 years ago is when the Fred Taylor Scholarship Fund was created at the Berklee College of Music. And just a quick story of how that happened. I know the world needs to celebrate this great man and so many artists and people who love him. And there was an idea that popped into my brain about, what would be a fantastic way to really always celebrate Fred and his legacy and pass on his incredible knowledge and legacy to generations and generations and generations to come. And this little birdie said, what about creating an endowed scholarship fund at my alma mater, Berklee College of Music? Yeah, go Berklee. So I brought the idea to President Roger Brown, and he jumped at it, and he said, of course, we love Fred, and that would be a perfect place to have our scholarship in his name. And so 2 years ago, we, myself and my wonderful mom and dad produced a concert at the Berklee Performance Center, which was the very first Fred Taylor Scholarship All-Star Benefit concert. Were any of you there? Fantastic. Thank you so much. It was an incredible night. We had about 12 artists. Everyone flew in, drove in, took trains to perform and spread their love for Fred and donated their talent. And we filled the Berklee Performance Center. We had Pat Metheny, Catherine Russell, Danilo Perez, Kat Edmondson. Oh, it was Kurt Elling. It was fantastic. And we raised $70,000 that night. Sold out BPC. And that was the beginning, my friends. Yes, give it up. And thank you to those of you who are here, who are there. That was the beginning, literally the beginning of the Fred Taylor Scholarship Fund. And what you are all here tonight And what you are supporting is the second ever Fred Taylor Scholarship Concert, and all of the proceeds from this are going straight into the Fred Taylor Scholarship. So thank you so much. Right now, thank you. And here we are with concert number 2. Right about now, I want to introduce a wonderful, wonderful man who you probably know his voice. You've heard his voice. He's the voice behind WGBH, WCRB, the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Also, he's probably one of the main reasons why I play saxophone, because my mom and dad used to listen to his program, Music America, all the time since I was, I don't know, not even out yet in my mom's womb. And that's the reason why they listen to jazz and Stan Getz, and that's how I fell in love with jazz and the saxophone. So, Mr. Ron Della Chiesa, come on up. Give it up for Ron Della Chiesa, everybody. Ron Della Chiesa.
Thanks, Grace. Is this about Fred Taylor? Anyway, I got some wonderful stories to tell about Fred Taylor, but we're going to get to the music real quick. But, you know, Fred as a kid, used to live go for summers down in Hull. And one of the great times we had a few years ago was a nostalgic journey to Hull with Fred Taylor. And I picked Fred up and we drove down there. And we went up to A Street. And Fred showed me the house he used to live in and the bakery. Was it Katz's Bakery on the corner of A Street? Great bakery, and then there was the roller coaster was down there, the carousel, the sea breeze where Savvy Lewis used to play. So I'm walking with Fred. Has a great spontaneous sense of humor, and a seagull just sat down in front of us, and Fred looked at the seagull and said, "I know this guy." You know, if Fred hadn't been a great jazz impresario, he'd been a great stand-up comic. He loved comedy, all the great comedians, Jack Carter, Jackie Mason, and he's a great mimic and imitator. He pioneered something called sit-down comedy for those of us who can't stand as well anymore. And he occasionally lapses into that every once in a while. But you know something, Fred? I was thinking of the bookings you have done through the years. I can't think of anyone else who has such an eclectic way with booking acts. One time at Paul's Mall, on one night he had Duke Ellington's great orchestra, and the next night he booked Jose Greco. Do you remember that? Yes, you do. I've often said that Fred Taylor is to jazz what Bill Belichick is to sports and football, what Ted Williams was to baseball, what Toscanini was to classical music. You are something else. There's no one who's had the legacy like you. You should be on the Mount Rushmore of jazz. The one and only Fred Taylor. And that's just an example of the kind of acts that Fred gets involved in. He crosses over, into all areas of music. He booked Tanglewood for many, many years. And I'll never forget the night you had Tony Bennett there at Tanglewood, backed up by Duke Ellington's band and then Basie's band. One of the great nights in jazz history at Tanglewood. And you've been so much a part of what jazz is all about in this city and even beyond. There's not a jazz club anywhere in America where you can't go in and mention Fred Taylor's name and they say, "We know Fred, what a great guy. He helped me get my start in jazz." And that's what it's all about. That's what the Fred Taylor Scholarship Fund is all about. Something that will perpetuate the legacy that Fred has given the world of jazz and us for so many years to come. And so many great musicians out there just waiting to develop into something great like a Grace Kelly. So Fred, I'm so proud to be here, proud to be a friend for many, many years. We've had some wonderful times together. And I'll never forget the time we were at the Friars Club, and I walked out in front of the Friars Club with Fred. A pigeon came down right in front of us, and Fred, without breaking a beat, said, "Any messages?" Fred, as Duke Ellington said, and we all echo his sentiments, and let's say it together, ladies and gentlemen, we love you madly. We love you madly, Fred Taylor. Thanks so much for coming out and support the Fred Taylor Scholarship Fund. Here she is, the fabulous Grace Kelly. Speaking of people who've done a lot to promote jazz wherever she is, and if you take a look at her website, you are everywhere. Man, she travels, and everywhere she goes, she turns people on with her enthusiasm, love, and just the way she plays and sings. You are something else. Grace Kelly.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. Ron Delakiers, everyone. We got a little Louis Jordan for you right about now. This is a song, a Gracified rendition off my new album. I know Fred got a sneak peek at the video that's gonna come out too with a fabulous tap dancer. I got a man who's always late every time we have a date, but I love him. Yes, I love him. I'm gonna walk up to his gate and see if I can get it straight, 'cause I want him, and I've gotta have him. I'm singing, is you is or is you ain't my baby. You know the way you're acting lately makes me doubt. Is you is or is you ain't my baby. Seems the flame in your heart has gone out. Who's always late every time we have a date, but I love him. Yes, I love him. I'm gonna walk up to his gate and see if I can get it straight, 'cause I want him and I've gotta have him. I'm singing, is you is or is you ain't my baby. You know the way you're acting lately makes me doubt. You've always been my baby, baby. Seems the flame in your heart has gone out. Now a fella is a creature who has always been strange. Just when you think you're his, he's gone and made a change. He's gone and made a change. I'm singing, is you is or is you ain't my baby. You know the way you're acting lately makes me doubt. You have always been my baby, baby. Seems the flame in your heart has gone out. On drums, be my baby. On drums, everybody from New York City. Thank you. Louis Jordan, is you is or is you ain't my baby, Gracified. And now we're gonna do an original song for you. I do love writing original music, and this one is really special to me because I wrote it about my boyfriend, and we had met, this is a couple years ago now, and I remember when we first met up for our first date, just immediately getting nervous and sweaty and the butterflies going when I saw him for the first time. And then we went into this restaurant, and the conversation we had, it was just so wonderful. And the next couple weeks, we just explored New York City together and pretended like we were tourists. Took the Staten Island ferry, went to these parks, and started talking about, our friends, our family, getting to know each other. And I was home one day, and I wrote down this line, "Feels like home." And that person could be your significant other or your daughter, son, grandkids, who give you that warm and fuzzy feeling. Could be your dog. I mean, you can get there, right? Can you get there right now? That's the feeling. And this song recently won the John Lennon Songwriting Contest. I was so thrilled. Thank you so much. And it won in country. So there you go. Wrote a country love song for you. We're going to do it for you now off one of my records. Suddenly I'm falling 1,000 stories high. It's amazing and it's crazy, and I'm strangely satisfied. You grab my hand and the colors in my world come alive. But I never planned to fall in love. We watch the hours and the sunlight run away, talking of dreams, childhood memories, and family holidays. You were a stranger, then a lover, now something more I cannot say. Maybe this time it could be love. 'Cause you feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red as wine. You feel like home. Suddenly I'm falling 1,000 stories high, and it's too late to turn back now. So I look deep into your eyes. You pull me close, kiss me softly under the city lights, and somewhere in there I fell in love. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. I didn't see it coming, but this time I'm not running. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red as wine. You feel like home. You feel like home when I look into your eyes. Oh, your kisses taste like sunshine. You turn me on so bright. You feel like home. You feel like home on a starlit summer night. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red as wine. You feel like home. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red as wine. You feel like home. You're the drumbeat of my heart. Your loving red as wine. You feel like home. Thank you so much. Everybody, this is Jesse Fisher on piano and vocals. Philippe Lem on those background vocals. Kyle Miles on the bass. Thank you so much. I also have to say that song holds so many more memories in this moment because I am a Brookline girl. I grew up in Coolidge Corner. Oh my gosh, the memories are flooding back, and I know a lot of you in this room from Brookline and Boston events, and it's really special walking around here. So right about now, I want to introduce our first guest. He is a brilliant performer, singer, songwriter, tours the world, so many wonderful albums, and he's also a professor. He was a professor of mine at the Berklee College of Music, and oh, he is a true storyteller, and he's worked with so many of the greats, from Jimmy Buffett to Joni Mitchell. I mean, you name it. This man, you name it, he sings it, he storytells it. Please put your hands together for the great Livingston Taylor, everybody. Let's bring him on out, Livingston Taylor.
Let's see if this microphone will do. I think it'll do just fine. What a lovely evening. What a lovely idea. Celebration and scholarship of Fred Taylor. Boy, he's nurtured a lot of us. And that's saying something because I'm pretty old now. I'm sorry, is that foot too loud? I know it's too big. 8 hours with a shovel in the city's summer sun. Aching arms, dusty boots, and a job that won't get done. 2 weeks' pay spent yesterday and a 3-change bus ride home. The fading gray of a long, hard day, not a thing to call your own. And the boy turns and he asks his old dad, he says, are you glad for the kind of life you've had? And he says, life is good. Spring is in the air. You got $2 in your pocket, a little bit of Brill cream in your hair. Oh, life is good when you're proud of what you do. Now giving your all to others and it all comes back to you. Some guys are handsome, make friends all the time, always got a buddy and they always feel fine. Others take the back seat, watch the world go by, living life alone, quietly and shy. But when love strikes, fires start to burn. Those lonely years melt away. Finally it's your turn and you say, life is good. Winter's blowing cold and love is forever and it never will grow old. Oh, life is good when you're proud of what you do. Now giving your all to others and it all comes back to you. You can go year to year thinking life has nothing new. Special things go to others and you're glad for them, but then just like that it goes and changes just like that. You say life is good. You were heading for the fall and you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and it didn't hurt at all. Oh, life is good when you're proud of what you do. Now give your all to others. Come on now, try. Listen very closely to every laugh and sigh. Maybe there's a reason for all we do, giving your all to others, and it all comes back to you. To you. Yep. So I had this little melody kicking around. And I was thinking about my old friend Fred. I said, oh heck, I think I'll write a lullaby. So Fred, this one's coming to you. And it says, sleepy is good, let your eyes close, wiggle your nose, tug at your ear, call it a day, and just drift away and have in your mind that I'm here. I'm wide awake and I'm ready to take my turn at the twist of the wheel. You've charted the course, the North Star shines. I can handle the weight that you feel. Sleep until dawn, daylight will find you rested and strong, with your face in the wind, with plenty of fight for the good and the right, with me at your side once again. It'll be you and me till the end. Wonderful to see you this evening. Love you, friend. Thank you very much.
Livingston Taylor, everybody. Livingston Taylor. Oh. I gotta say, it's not often that I get to walk off stage in the middle of the set and enjoy such glorious music. I kind of like that. I like that. Just gotta do more shows where we have such spectacular artists on stage. Thank you so much, Livingston Taylor. We want to introduce the first recipient of the Fred Taylor Scholarship. She is here today, and she's from the Berklee College of Music. Everyone put your hands together for Jessie Brown. She's going to come up and say a few words. The very first recipient of the Fred Taylor Scholarship, Jessie Brown.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I recently graduated from Berklee. I got a dual major in music production engineering and music business management. And I'm also the first recipient of the Fred Taylor Scholarship. So, pretty exciting. You'll have to bear with me, I'm an audio engineer, so I'm usually like on that side of the room, not on this side. But I just wanted to take a second to say thank you to Grace and to Irene and Bob, because they not only did they do this amazing event, made all of this happen, set up this wonderful fund for students years after me, they also just were so kind, and some of the kindest people that I've met in Boston. And I got the amazing opportunity to have a Thanksgiving meal with them right after we had met at the scholarship lunch, and I got to talk to Fred Taylor, and he is, like everyone has been saying, a national treasure, and he's done amazing things for the Boston music community. And I just wanted to say, thank you so much for everyone that's here, because of this scholarship, I was able to not take out student loans during my last semester, so woohoo, less debt. And one last thing is that this particular scholarship is so important at Berklee because it's a scholarship for students in their second or third or fourth year, so students that didn't get a scholarship when they auditioned. So this fills the gaps for some students that maybe didn't have the financial means to have the talent to wow someone at wow the people at the audition. So I just wanted to say thank you everyone for being here, and thank you Irene, Bob, and Fred, and Grace. Thanks.
Thank you, Jessie. Give it up for Jessie Brown, everybody. Thank you so much, Jessie. Thank you for being here. I, too, was having memories during Thanksgiving. I came home I've been living in New York, so I came home, and what a beautiful feast we had, and to meet you for the first time. I look forward to getting to know you even more. And, I was going to save this till a little bit later, but Jessie did point out Irene and Bob, and in case you don't know who they are my incredible parents and partners for these shows. And are they here? Of course they're here. Can you stand up? There they are. Stand up. It's my amazing dad and my amazing mom. So she's in the back. She's wearing the Grace Kelly t-shirt. You can't miss her. So give them a giant, extra big squeeze when you see them, because they're they're behind the scenes. Mom's been answering every single email, and man, it takes a beautiful team to make it happen. So thank you so much, Jessie. We're gonna kick it off right now. You know the tempo. I want to introduce you guys to our next guest. But first, we are all playing 3 different songs, so hold on. I literally just looked back at them and I said, and he said one title and he said a different title. So, okay, now we're on the same page. Here we go, we're gonna try that again. Right about now, we're gonna bring out our next guest. This man, he's played with everyone. Well, first of all, he's been leading his own band, recording, performing all around the world, recording and sharing the stage with the likes of Aerosmith, Bonnie Raitt, Bruce Springsteen, producing shows, performing shows, and he's been a mentor of mine since I was 13 years old. When he first saw me at Sculler's Jazz Club, he was in the front row, and right after he came up to me and he said, "Grace, come and sit in with the band next week." And he's brought me all over to the House of Blues in Boston. We performed with Huey Lewis, with the great James Cotton, and he is such an incredible performer and an artist. I want you to put your hands together for the great James Montgomery, everybody. James Montgomery. We're gonna bring him on right now and get into some blues for you. James Montgomery, everybody.
Thank you very much. How about a great band? Livingston Taylor, what's better than that? Nothing. The amazing Grace Kelly and the Kelly family, thank you very much for everything you've done for Fred. I'll tell you, if years ago I would have known that time after time after time, I'd have to keep saying what a great guy Freddie was, how loving he was, how understanding, how much he knew about music, and how important he was to the history of not only Boston music, but the history of the music in the world. If I don't know that, I'd have been asked that question so many times, I would have played the psychedelic supermarket. Fred, you are the best. Which was a nightclub in Boston, by the way. Listen, baby, don't you treat me so mean. Meanest old woman that I ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Oh, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this way. I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care what you do, cause you're understood. You got no money and you're just no good.
Well, I guess if you say so,
Woo!
I'll have to pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Oh, what you say? Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Listen, baby, don't you treat me this way. I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, cause it's understood. You got no money and you're just no
I
good.
don't care if you say so. I have to pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. Hit the road, Jack.
James Montgomery, everybody, give it up, James Montgomery. Woo! James Montgomery, everybody, James Montgomery.
Grace Kelly and an amazing band. Give it up for these people. Thank you very much. So far, so good, Fred.
We're getting the okay from Fred. You know, when the concept of this second ever benefit concert was put together, the idea ran past Fred about, well, how about, you know, jazz, folk, blues? I mean, if we were to put together a concert to really represent all of the different styles of music, we'd be here for a whole week, you know, with comedy and dance. And so he liked the idea, and so this has been a thrill. We're going to bring Mr. Livingston Taylor back onto stage right now. Please give it up for Livingston Taylor, everybody. And we want to play.
This guy's one of my heroes, I'll tell you that.
And me too. And
Sheriff, you got me wrong. Just letting off a little steam.
you know, it has always amazed me too. Your collection of bow ties is so
I have one or two.
fantastic.
That's right.
Well,
this is what I wear, of course, when I'm teaching.
Well, I was going to
Wear
say,
it.
every time when your class was one of my all-time favorites.
Thank you for that.
It really was, and
Good.
thank you.
I'm assuming I gave you an A.
But I remember that you came in almost every day with a different bow tie. It was
Did I?
Yeah, it's incredible. So we'll have to talk about that. Yeah, and this shirt. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh, it's all so fabulous. So my friends, we're gonna play a couple songs together, but before we do, just want to say a couple more shout-outs. We have the wonderful Lydia Liebman, who ran with all the press for this event. She came from New York. Lydia, she's looking at me, shaking her head. Thank you so much for making this event known to so many people. It was featured in the Boston Globe, so thank you. And to David Greenberg, who helped with editing the video and a lot of our graphics, and to Joe on sound, and thank you so much to Catherine Tallman at the Coolidge Corner Theatre. Catherine, are you here? Could you stand for us? There she is. Catherine Tallman, everybody.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
This has been such an amazing home, and thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts for coming out tonight and celebrating this great man and being a part of the next Fred Taylor Scholarship recipient. Thank you so, so much for being here. It means so much. I'm so glad Jesse could be here. And another heartfelt thank you to my wonderful parents, Irene and Bob, who are putting this all together, producing it. One more time for this fantastic band, everybody. Give it up for Jesse Fisher on keys and vocals. Kyle Miles on the basses. Philippe Lem on drums. And we want to give the biggest shout out to the amazing Fred Taylor for being you and impacting so many of our lives, all of our lives, and so many others. We love you so much. Thank you, Fred, for bringing us all together and for everything you've done. Oh, and with that, I think we should play some music.
But hey, Fred, I just wanted to tell you, Fred, my girlfriend last night called me a stalker. Well, she's not my girlfriend yet. Anyway, I thought you'd appreciate that. Anyway, I'm sorry.
That's a good joke. No, that's good.
We got a little bit of a medley, and this particular song that we played at the very first Fred Taylor Scholarship, it's a little bit of an anthem because this man is always looking to the future. He's always got the next idea. He's always positive and has a joke and a song. And Fred Taylor, let the good times roll.
Come on, baby. Let's do that one more time. 2, 3, yeah. Come on, baby. Let's have some fun. You only live once. When you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Let the good times roll. Come on, Brookline. Don't talk trash. You want to party down, you better spend some cash and let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
town. I got $1 and a nickel just lying around. So let the good times roll. Come on, everybody. Let the good times roll.
Let the good time go.
It don't matter if you're young and old. So let the good times.
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. I got a brand new house on the roadside, made on a rattlesnake hide. I got a little bit of chimney bit up on top, made out of a human skull. Come on, baby, take a walk with me. I mean, tell me, who do you love? Who do you love?
Who do you love?
Oh, baby, who do you love?
Who do you love?
Now, who do you love?
Who do you love?
Oh, baby, who do you love? Break it down.
Who do you love?
Walking downtown with a rattlesnake whip. Can't see you, baby, don't you give me no lip. Got a tombstone hand in the graveyard mine. Just 52 and I don't mind dying, baby. Who do you love?
Who do you love?
Oh, baby, who do you love? Come on.
Who do you love?
Now, who do you love?
Who do you love?
Who do you love? Who you love, who you thinking of? Smothering me with all kissing hard, giving me unconditional love. You a gang so lollipop shouldn't judge. You love me so gangs I wanna be thug. God makes the season I wanna be drug. You're the one that I'm thinking of. All you gotta do is tell me who do you love? Who do you love? Fred, who do you love?
Come on, everyone.
Fred, who do you love? Fred, who do
Put
you
those
love?
hands up. Come on, Coolidge Corner.
Fred, who do you love? 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 Come on, everybody.
Have a wonderful night. We love you. Get home safe. Thank you, James Montgomery, Livingston Taylor, this incredible band, the Fred Taylor Scholarship. Thank you, everybody. Good night.